Every rifle issued by a modern army is reliable, deadly and ready for war. That sounds right, but it's complete rubbish. The truth is far more uncomfortable. Some of the worst battlefield disasters in military history weren't caused by bad tactics or overwhelming enemies. They were caused by terrible rifles. What if the weapon you were issued failed when you needed it the most? For a soldier, a rifle isn't just equipment, it's survival. It's the one thing you trust when everything else is chaos. Today, we're diving into the world's worst rifles in history. But before we do, tell us which one you think is the absolute worst. Welcome back to the war. First, we have the Chauchat M1915. Issued by France during World War I, the Chauchat was meant to be a lightweight automatic rifle that could give infantry mobile firepower. On paper, it was revolutionary. In reality, it was a mechanical disaster. Its most infamous feature was the side open magazine, which allowed mud, dirt and debris to enter freely. A fatal flaw in the trenches of the Western Front. The Chauchat didn't need to be fired to malfunction. Sometimes just moving it was enough. Here's the key detail most people miss. The Chauchat wasn't terrible because it was complex. It was terrible because it was rushed into mass production. Poor materials, loose tolerances and inconsistent manufacturing doomed it from the start. Imagine charging into no man's land relying on an automatic fire and your weapon locks up after a few rounds. Would you trust it next time? Many soldiers didn't. The Ross rifle, issued to Canadian troops in World War I, is one of the most tragic examples of a weapon that worked perfectly until it mattered. On the firing range, the Ross was incredibly accurate. Officers loved it. Politicians praised it. National pride was wrapped tightly round it. But trench warfare doesn't care about perfection. The Ross rifle was extremely sensitive to dirt and fouling. Mud, sand and carbon buildup could jam the bolt so badly that soldiers needed boots or tools to force it open. And here's the part that still shocks historians. If assembled incorrectly, the bolt could slide out of the rear of the rifle when fired, directly toward the shooter. Canadian soldiers began discarding Ross rifles in combat and picking up British Lee Enfields from the battlefield instead. That detail alone should tell you everything you need to know. Eventually, the Ross was pulled from frontline service, but not before confidence was completely shattered. The M16 should never be on a world's worst rifle list, but during the Vietnam War, it earned its place, not because of bad design, but because of catastrophic decisions. Early versions of the M16 were advertised as self-cleaning. That single lie cost lives. Troops were issued rifles without cleaning kits, proper manuals or correct ammunition. A change in gunpowder led to excessive fouling, causing frequent failures to extract spent casings, often during firefights. There are documented after-action reports describing American soldiers found dead, besides partially disassembled rifles, trying to clear jams under fire. The M16 wasn't flawed at its core. It was sabotaged by poor logistics and arrogance. Once proper training, cleaning equipment and ammunition were introduced, the rifle proved reliable. But early on, trust was gone. And in war, trust doesn't come back easily. Would you step into combat knowing your rifle might work if you're lucky? The British Army's SA-80 L85A1 was meant to be a cutting-edge, bullpup rifle, compact, accurate and modern. Instead, it became infamous. Early versions suffered from failures to feed, failures to eject, weak magazines and poor reliability in harsh environments. During the Gulf War, sand exposure caused serious issues, with some rifles failing after minimal use. One of the most dangerous flaws? Left-handed soldiers were placed at risk due to the rifle's ejection system, making it unsafe without modifications. Confidence in the weapon plummeted. Soldiers complained openly. The rifle became a liability instead of an advantage. Only after a comprehensive rebuild by Heckler & Koch did the SA-80 platform finally become dependable. But by then, the damage to its reputation was permanent. So here's the question, and I want your answer in the comments. Would you rather carry an older rifle you trust, or a modern one you don't? Now let's talk about a rifle so strange it almost feels like fiction, except it wasn't. The Japanese Type 11 light machine gun, issued in the interwar period, fed ammunition using stripper clips, stacked into a hopper, lubricated with oil to help cycling. Yes, oiled ammunition. In clean conditions it functioned. In combat, dirt stuck to the oil, causing constant malfunctions. Feeding was unreliable and the system was slow to reload under fire. The Type 11 tried to solve too many problems at once and created new ones instead. Complexity replaced reliability and soldiers paid the price. It's a reminder that innovation without practicality can be just as deadly as outdated thinking. History doesn't judge rifles by promise or patents. It judges them on performance under fire. The Chauchat, the Ross rifle, early M16s, the SA-80 and the Type 11 all failed the same test. They broke trust. And once trust is gone, no amount of doctrine can replace it. The troops knew long before leadership admitted it. And that's the real lesson. Now if you want to see what's next for the British Army's rifle, check out our video on Project Greyburn. Hi soldiers, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comments and check out our merchant membership programs. And don't forget to check back in again soon. That's an order.